Baba gets up and lights the lantern. He pushes open the door and goes outside. But there is nothing. We have no way of knowing whether it's morning or afternoon. After the storm goes on for hours more, and we are too exhausted to go outside again until the wind dies. My cousins whimper. Shirdal stays under Mama's skirt, silent like the rest of us. And then, as suddenly as it began, the storm is over. Baba lifts his head, and dust cascades from the folds of his shawl. His moustache, eyebrows, and eyelashes are coated with pale powder, and the rims and whites of his eyes are blood red. He looks like a fearful ghost. Still, none of us speaks. Our noses, mouths, and throat are parched and caked with dust. Mama lifts the lid from a pot and pours some water into cups, and I pass them around. It is late afternoon when Baba and I set off. I shake the dust from my clothes and hair. The air is calm and cool. The storm has buried all signs of civilization. Even our courtyard looks like a piece of desert. The neat mud walls and storage mound beaten down and draped with sand. Outside, the desert has been rearranged. Unfamiliar dunes roll where the land used to lie flat. Shrub and thorn trees are no more. Nothing looks like same. Baba looks back over his shoulder at the house and fixes a course for Toba, where we hope grandfather will be. Somehow, safe with the camels. We walk farther than we should have to. The sun is quivering and pale on the horizon. The sand is powdery underfoot, its fresh whiteness covering up the devastation it has wreaked. Suddenly Baba falls to the ground and begins digging with his hands, the sand flying out behind him. Here, he says, holding up a handful of damp sand. This is our Toba. He continues to dig, the sand flying out behind him, now in heavy grey clumps. Finally, he sits back on his heels, breathing heavily, his head thrown back. Allah, Allah, he says softly, tears streaking through the dust on his cheeks. There's water in us for a day or two until we find grandfather. We will survive. I fetch the water pot as the sun slips below the horizon, and together we walk home, realizing we must leave the desert as soon as possible. Next morning, we are awakened by the magic symphony of the camels' bells. Our precious herd with the babies following, riding behind Pushdal's ram, is grandfather.